Every week I have a series of phone calls that are set up where I meet with different leaders inside of our industry. And in these phone calls, oftentimes I'm made aware of different situations where I probably could have helped the company ahead of time, but at this point in time, in terms of helping with their current situation, it would be extremely difficult to try and pull them out of the current tailspin that the organization is in. One of those calls happened yesterday. Essentially, a leader was telling me that their device, a critical life-saving technology, was FDA approved. Unfortunately, the commercialization plan wasn't finished. There's no plans in terms of what happens with manufacturing at this point in time. And so everybody is kind of left at a point where they're just looking for funding. They're looking for additional funding. In terms of explaining this to an investor or potential investor, I also think it would be a pretty tough thing to explain to an investor that you have FDA approval. However, even though you've passed one of the most significant milestones that an organization can pass, unfortunately, the organization's not out there selling the product today. They're not currently working on manufacturing the product today. And the leadership inside of the organization just seems very confused. As you bring your technology forward, let's say that you license a technology from a university. The next phase, you're going to do some level of IP protection. So let's say that you move through that phase. As you sort of move the research portion of the project along, there needs to be this thought about what are you going to do to get out there and sell your particular device or whatever it is. And so, unfortunately, for this particular company, what's going to happen is that now that they've crossed one of the most significant milestones that are out there, they actually have a canyon in front of them. What I mean by this is that most companies that would look at purchasing their technology before because it was new and exciting and things like that, now are only going to look at, well, why can't you sell it? Why can't you manufacture it? We have to think beyond the portion of researching a particular project into the next phase of that project being that that product is going to be commercialized. Whether you're working on a drug or a device, it doesn't necessarily matter. At some point in time, you need to start thinking about the horizon, especially leaders, the horizon that you are going to reach where you have to get your product out there into the world and have people either buy it or you're going to sell it to another company and let them commercialize it. If you're going to do that, that needs to be in progress as you're reaching some of these more significant milestones. You can't get FDA approval and not have a plan in place. I really want to challenge all the leaders in a company, whether it's the CEO, the CFO, legal counsel, the operations leaders inside of the organization. All of you need to be thinking about the people, the technology, the processes that need to be in place in the future when this thing becomes FDA approved. When it is, it's a significant milestone. You should be able to celebrate it. But also the next bit of work that needs to happen is getting it out into the world. The whole reason why you're doing this is to get it out into the world. It's not to write about it in peer-reviewed journals. It's not to talk about it at different conferences. The whole idea is getting somebody out there in the world to want your technology or your drug. And so with that, I just thought I would share the message of this unfortunate situation. The really sad truth here is that this company most likely will not survive, especially given the confusion amongst the leaders.